Welcome to Grade 8 Geography, Unit Number 1, Global Settlement, Patterns and Sustainability. This is Lesson Number 1, Settlement Patterns. Welcome to Grade 8 Geography. In Grade 7, we studied physical geography. This meant that we studied important physical patterns in the Earth. In grade 8, we will be studying human geography. This means that we will be looking at how people are connected to the Earth and how we use the Earth. In today's lesson, let's review some key terms. There are different types of settlement patterns. Rural settlements refer to areas that have a small population, fewer than 1,000 people. Farms and villages are examples of rural settlements. Wealthier countries tend to have fewer rural settlements. Countries that have mostly rural settlements are often developing nations. A long time ago, Canada used to be mostly rural, but like most wealthy countries, Canada is now mostly urban. Just going to ask you to look at the picture here and think about this question. How does this rural settlement look different from Toronto? Urban settlements refer to areas that have large populations. Cities and towns are examples of urban areas. Today, many countries are beginning or are continuing to experience a pattern of urbanization. This means that many people are leaving rural areas and moving to urban areas in search of jobs, better education, and improved healthcare. However, urbanization can cause other problems such as housing shortages, a lack of jobs, and overpopulation. In developed nations, a newer settlement pattern has emerged. Many people in countries like Canada live in suburban settlements. Suburban settlements are communities that are formed at the edges of large cities. People who live in suburbs drive to work and school. For example, Toronto is a major city with several suburbs, such as Etobicoke and North York. So take a look at this picture here, and let's consider the following. How does a suburban area, like the one in the picture, look different from the downtown core of a city? You might be wondering, why do people settle in certain areas? Well, there are two important factors that cause people to choose where to build a community. These two factors are known as site and situation. Site refers to the physical features of an area. Access to water, natural resources, transportation routes, and land suitable for farming are all important site factors. Situation refers to the location of a place and its closeness, to other important places or physical features. Closeness to other major cities, as well as closeness to sources of jobs, education, and healthcare, are important situation factors. And in a future lesson, we will learn how to read a topographic map to describe the site and situation of an area. And here's an example of a topographic map. You might want to put the video on pause and see if you can use the legend below to help describe uh, the site and situation of this area. Toronto became a big city because of its site and situation. Toronto is located on fairly flat land with several rivers running through it and a huge lake at its south end. Toronto's site allows it to grow and still have lots of water. Toronto is located along major highways, railways, and waterways, and near excellent farmland. It is also within a day's drive of Detroit, New York, Washington, D.C., Boston, Chicago, Ottawa, Montreal, and the list goes on. Toronto's situation is a major reason for its growth into a large city. Alright, so let's conclude today's introductory lesson with an activity that tests your understanding of today's important terms. I'm just noticing that there's an issue with the way the video or the lesson is presenting itself. So I'm just going to switch out of the full screen mode, and I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. Okay, here we go. Perfect. Okay, so we've got 7 sentences. Of course, they all start with a blank space. So it's your job to choose the appropriate word from the word box below for each sentence. So please do, after I finish speaking, please do put this video on pause so that you can try out this activity at home, and we will take it up in class tomorrow. Okay, um, one last thing. This is the final slide for today's video. So after you pause the video and you complete the activity, uh, that concludes the video. So you can stop it or you can review.